Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
In this week's episode of the Kindness Project, we talk about podcasts, pancakes, and we have part 3 of our interview with Sam Oates from the Financial Planner Life podcast.
Go on, Russ.
Welcome to the Kindness Project. I'm joined by a man in his office that's robbing all my ideas.
How dare you?
And a girl that thinks I should pay him nothing for the ideas.
Hold on. If I'm
saying
stealing
nothing.
the ideas, who's paying who?
I've just realised that now, but I'm not paying you nothing for your ideas.
See what I mean? I thought, Charlotte, welcome to the Kindness Project, everybody. I thought, because Russ was in such a good mood, he might want to introduce himself on the podcast, and he uses that to make a immediate dig
I
in
do
my direction.
owe you a $5 for some Easter eggs, though, that I agreed to yesterday.
We've got them, yeah. So they've got a amazing little charity drive in the offices that we're part of, where there's a decent number of businesses. We've got we're buying Easter eggs for kids who can't afford it, and the table's looking round already. It looks like there's a lot of kids who are going to get Easter eggs this year. And as you know, chaps, I love doing a bit of that. What did it cost us? It probably we spent 10-15 quid on it, giving back a bit to people who need it when times are tough is something I want to do. Charlotte, apart from laughing at Russell's intro, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been doing a lot of stuff, dealing with your emails, dealing with
my emails. Have I any good emails that you could share on the podcast?
You keep getting emails from Soph's school that just are never open, so I just have been sort of getting rid of them.
Forward them to Mum, yeah. Sorry, are we doing our admin? Are we having a team meeting
You
on the
asked.
podcast?
Okay,
That's
okay.
not the job.
That's because you missed out on the team meeting yesterday.
I had to go to class. Okay, if you're asking, I'm working on a novella at the moment that I think could be promising.
Although you did do a good article this week, Charlotte, on the Hatton Garden robberies.
I found it by chance and it was very funny.
Oh, you know what you should do an article on? I've just finished the BBC Sounds podcast called Gangster. We should make that a little feature of our podcast, shouldn't we? Like what other podcasts to listen to.
I've been thinking about doing my backlog of getting myself a mic and doing my backlog of blogs as podcast content, starting my own podcast that way.
Oh, that might be good. You know what I got asked.
That reminds me, I've got to change my mobile number this week.
What's that?
Just in case she phones for podcast advice.
Oh, what?
That leads to bad things when people phone me for podcast advice.
You know what? Every time somebody phones you, Russ, and says, "Russ, I need a quick favour," immediately put the phone down. Russ, can you just do me a quickie? Actually, never say that.
Oh.
Never use that phrase. Do me a quickie.
Hopefully I don't answer that call.
But how about if Charlotte pretends? Well, let's do a bit of a role play. You phone him up. You want to ask him a favour, but you cannot, Charlotte, ask him directly and immediately for that favour. Go.
Okay. You're right, Russ.
All right, Charlotte.
What have you been up to?
What is it you need, Charlotte?
Straight down to business. Let's get down to business. Go on, Charlotte.
He's only saying that because he knows of the scenario.
In all honesty, if you do decide to do a podcast, I'm more than happy to help you with that.
No, I've got some software that I've had on my laptop for a while. I've been doing some audio editing for.
Well, I gave you access to my Adobe. The best editing software is the Adobe Audition.
Yeah.
Which I do all their podcasts on.
I thought you used Free? No, you don't use the free.
Audacity. The only thing
That's what I
use,
use. Yeah.
the only thing I use Audacity for is breaking down the raw files into segments, and then I put it all together and do the audio editing in Audacity.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, ladies and gents. We've going a bit technical. We've gone off a tangent.
Okay.
I want to see Charlotte's technique
No,
to
I've got some.
persuade Russell to do her a favour without actually asking her a favour.
I can just ask for a favour though, and if he doesn't want to do it, he'll say no, and that's fine.
You can ask me for anything, Charlotte.
Exactly. And if he doesn't want to, he just say
How
no.
about me?
It's
Does that
fine.
include me?
You do anyway, even when I do say no, you say, yeah, we're going to do it.
Oh, in other news, I've just come back from Glasgow. Haven't I, Charlotte?
He said just come back, and I was like, just?
Well,
Then
Tuesday.
between the last times we recorded, yeah.
I did ask Charlotte the other day if you go to Quiz Club.
Quiz night? Yeah, we smashed it, didn't we?
9th, yeah.
Yeah, so there was 34 teams at quiz night, and we ended up coming 9th.
I was going to send you the post of the team picture, but you don't have Instagram.
Well, send it on WhatsApp.
I don't have the picture, I just have it on Instagram because he posts them on Instagram.
Right.
Why don't you right click it and download it?
From my phone?
No.
Sorry. Are we just having a chat on the podcast about technical support?
I wanted.
Do we remember that we have got tens of thousands of listeners tuning in, and you two are going, "Oh, where do I download an image from Instagram? What editing software shall I use in my podcast?"
So it's ingrained in me now that usually when you phone me, it's for technical advice or to do something.
About for when we actually record the podcast.
Yeah, that's doing something.
Right.
I've decided what next week's blog is on, by the way. Before anyone advises me on what next week's blog should be on, I know what it's going to be on.
What's it going to be on?
It's going to be on moons.
Moons?
Multiple moons or the moon?
The different full moons, because you know you have 12 to 13 in a year and they've all got different names.
Oh, cool. So our moon, but different moons, yeah?
Yeah, because the next one's the pink moon.
Okay, fair enough.
I only remember 3 of them.
That's all now.
No, don't tell. Wait. People can log in to charlottedames.com and read about either the Hatton Garden robbery or moons.
Next week, next Friday.
Can I add a suggestion for a future article for the list?
Yeah, go on.
The Brinks Mat robbery.
Yeah.
Which was at the time the biggest gold robbery.
Either that or a secure record down in Kent. That was quite an interesting story. How they robbed secure record down in Kent.
Why are we talking about robberies on the Kindness Project, chat?
Well, I was just about to bring up the story I'm working on about werewolves, which is why I transitioned by talking about my blog about the next. It's going to be about moons.
Oh, go on, talk about werewolves then.
What would you rather us talking about? The technical podcast stuff?
Kindness.
Talk about.
I like to talk about kindness. We talked about crime, werewolves, and the technical complexities.
We haven't talked about werewolves yet.
Huh?
We're just getting onto werewolves. We've had robberies, now it's werewolves.
Right, but we were a podcast primarily about sharing what's happening that's positive in the world.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
talk about werewolves and robberies?
Really positive. It's going well. It's a good project.
Right. If you can put if there's a bunch of werewolves doing a community project in a local school where they're building a playground, please do share the story. If it's about a fictional story about werewolves,
that Michael J. Fox movie where he turned into a werewolf?
Not where there was. He was a basketball playing werewolf, wasn't he?
Basketball player.
That particular. Now Charlotte wouldn't have seen this because it's from the era. Teen Wolf.
I saw the show adaptation they did of it.
No, the film was better. but we've and I don't know whether we've ever talked about this on the podcast before, us, but what's the year you consider films to be old?
Anything
Oh.
1992 or before.
No.
No, listen. And what did you
I
call those films?
was watching a program yesterday on Sky, something Sky, and it was at the 80s, the decade that made the movies.
Yeah, they made the movies.
Cinema.
They haven't perfected them.
Oh, they did.
No, 80s movies are brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, The
Come on,
Goonies is probably one
Yeah,
of the
who
finest
doesn't
movies.
watch the Goonies now?
I don't.
Is that it?
You don't.
Right. So we
You've
were on
never
our
seen E.T.
we were on our way back from a musical. Let me just tell you the story and how it is came about, Russ. We were on the way back from a musical. It was called Newsies, and it was over.
Yeah, you told me before that Charlotte thinks that the
They're
graphics
grainy.
on older stuff is
The
too
grainy.
grainy.
Well, any movie from the 80s is grainy,
Yeah.
but the storytelling's better.
It does have a point. If they haven't been, I'm not going to get so technical now.
Mm.
If they haven't been remastered, they can be a bit grainy, and
How do they remaster them, Russ?
and the special
How do
effects,
they remaster them?
the special effects compared to what they can do now, do seem a bit ropey. But 80s movies, when you see them then, was an advancement in time.
I'm.
But if I went to the
You
cinema
can remember
now and
that
watched,
feeling. When you sit down and watch an 80s movie and you're an 80s kid, you can remember that feeling you first got seeing them special effects and thinking, God, how have they done that?
Yeah, you know what? Weirdly, looking back, what was your first movie, Russ?
I think mine was my first movie I see. I can't remember.
Charlotte?
I don't remember.
My one was The Jungle Book.
Mine was probably something like Tom and Jerry, or because they used to show them early in the 80s at Christmas, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about at the cinema. What was your first cinema movie?
Oh, well, that was My Girl. You must remember, I
Girl.
cried all the way through it.
Cried all the way through it. Cried all the way through it.
But, as soon as he got stung by them bees, I was a blubbering wreck.
Not seen the film, so I've no idea what you're talking about.
It's not emotional at all.
Macaulay Culkin and
He's old now.
Lewinsky movie.
No, right, hold on. What do you mean he's old? He's an adult. At the time he was a kid. He's not old.
Yeah, but people are probably looking at you now, Charlotte, saying she's old.
I do. Every time I look in the mirror.
At our age.
Right. It's called maturity, Charlotte. Some of us quite enjoy it. Although, Russ, at quiz night, maturity got me in trouble because I walked into quiz night in Glasgow in the student union in Strathclyde.
Yeah.
Number one, I was at least 20 years older than everybody in the place.
That's all right. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Apart from the quiz master, who may have been slightly older.
But was it a case of the older and the wiser?
Well, it was, because we came 9th out of 34. I added value, didn't I?
Well, clearly not. If you're the oldest, then you're only a 9. Then there's
No,
a
there
lot
was-
wiser people.
But bear in mind, Russ, there was only a team of 3 of us. On some of the other teams, there was 27 on a table.
There's not 27.
27 on a
Closer to like
table.
10.
There were people sitting on people's laps.
There was.
Yeah.
That's quiz night. There's not enough chairs.
27 to the table. But I was definitely the oldest person in the room apart from the quiz master. And he did make a comment, because what you said was welcome to everybody to quiz night, including the people who have looked like they've wandered into the student union by accident. And I was like, that's a bit wrong, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
That's not fair.
And I said, thanks for the shout out. I waved at him and said thanks for the shout out. And he said, because I had a white T-shirt on, he turned around and went, including the man with the tighty whitey. Not a phrase I'd heard before. Tighty whitey. Interesting
Was he
phrase.
Scottish?
No,
No.
it's. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to refer to a pair of underwear.
Oddly enough, talking
But
of
I wanted a pair of underwear on. That would be absolutely weird. If as a
Talking of-
45-year-old man, I wandered into the student union.
talking of Scotland and funny things, I see on Facebook that your nan, Charlotte, and your mother-in-law, Chris, happened to get in the wrong car the other day at Asda.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That
and
happened.
somebody come up to them and said, "You're in the wrong car," and they apologised and laughed about it. I found that quite funny when I read it on Facebook the other day.
Okay. Interesting stuff. Right. So yeah, we were up in Glasgow. You know what? We missed an opportunity, Charlotte. We could have done a one where you and I were together and Russ was in a different place because
Oh, yeah.
We've done those before.
Yeah, but normally when you
We'd already recorded before you went on.
So I learned something interesting this week. Apparently, as life expectancy goes, Glasgow is the top place with the lowest life expectancy.
Yeah, I knew that.
How come?
I think it was one of my history lectures. I don't know. I remember.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Mind you, it was quite industrial, wasn't it? So
Yes, it was.
that could mean poverty, that could mean anything, couldn't it?
If you look at some of the old pictures of Glasgow, like,
Yeah.
Christ.
I thought it was deep fried food. I thought it was pancakes with 1,000,000 toppings, Charlotte. That's what I thought it was.
I like the sound of pancakes with 1,000,000 toppings.
Oh, Russ. If you ever
I've
come
never-
up, I've got to take you to Stack and Still.
I've never been known to shy away from a pancake.
Well, Stag and Still is the place you want to be, Russ. It is.
Is it better than the one in Amsterdam you went to?
Well, Omleg is the king of restaurants for omelets. I think, Charlotte.
I think there's also
Stag and
one in
Still might
London
be
as
the
well,
king of places
apparently.
for pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice little shout out there.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Sponsorships are available. Stack and Still. Feel free to send pancakes in my general direction. Happy for you to do that. Should we talk about mug of the week? I broke your mug as well while I was up, didn't I?
Yep.
Well, that's
You
one
got
of
the
those
yellow
mugs
mug?
of the week.
I haven't got any new mugs. There's no new mug of the week. I did make myself a mug this weekend. Not this
Oh, yeah,
weekend. Wednesday.
How did that go?
Okay,
So we went to this place and they just had these mugs and stuff. You can
Oh, nice.
with clay and you can just paint on them. So I was that's your glasses. You need to push them down.
What?
And we were I was there with a group from my English class, my English lecturers, and we painted stars on them because we were reading The Haunting of Hill House, and there's a thing about insist on your cup of stars. So we each went and made
that's quite a good one.
Cups
I
of
like that
stars.
one.
yeah. And I have a quote on it, but I can't remember what it is.
What's that university thing, Charlotte? Or you went?
No, it was just something someone arranged.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just like a
How
group
was it?
of, like 4 or
Good?
5 of us. Yeah, it was good.
Good. Fab.
I got
Right,
a new
so-
mug out of it, so I haven't got it yet because it needs to go in the kiln.
Oh, I love that word. Kiln.
Kiln.
Kiln is a great word. Question of the podcast: what currently is your favourite word? I think my new favourite word is kiln. Russ,
My new favourite word is theft.
plagiarism.
Because
I know. Because you keep on stealing my ideas, right?
I've stolen all your ideas and they're paying off so far. So
What can I say, Bertie?
they say crime don't pay, but in this case it has.
Well, I mean,
It's not quite crime.
I don't know if it's crime if I voluntarily gave you all my ideas.
Stating somebody's copyright is a crime, isn't it?
Why don't
Who
any
else you
copyright
own me then?
I would have thought it was a civil crime rather than a
Yeah, but
criminal crime.
the ideas that you've supposedly stolen weren't mine to begin with, were they?
I don't know where you got them.
I stole them from somebody else.
I wasn't going to ask for them.
I stole them from somebody else. That if you can, it's like that shoulder that phrase about shoulders of giants.
It's like you said on the podcast the interview recording this morning. It's that ripple effect.
Exactly.
If somebody can benefit from it, then
yeah.
It's what's the saying? We don't live in a vacuum.
It's true.
Yeah.
If we do something and it can create a positive ripple, I'm up for creating a positive ripple.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Especially if it's raspberry ripple on me pancakes. Oh yes.
What other topics do I do?
Well, I went healthy. We'll talk about Charlotte's in a minute. I went healthy and went for cream cheese and smoked salmon.
And roughly how much is the pancake of cream cheese and smoked salmon?
I had 2 pancakes.
Yeah.
It was about 11 quid. So it's not overly expensive.
Reasonable.
It's pretty good. And unlimited filtered coffee as well. Stack and Still, if you want to send anything my way, like to give you all this promotion, please do. And so I tried to go healthy. I ordered mine. Cream cheese, smoked salmon, and like sort of that sort of thing.
He's stretching this up again. Right.
Charlotte, do you want to share with Russell? And sorry, let me just put one more bit of framing around this, Russ. It was about 10:30 in the morning.
Wait, give her a chance to tell me where it was first.
10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, Russ. What filling did you go for your pancakes, Charlotte?
Doner kebab, mate.
I'm with you, Charlotte.
Yeah, thank you.
No. Doner kebab meat is a filling for like 11 o'clock at night, isn't it?
No, doner kebab can be eaten any time of the day or night.
Oh, you're an animal. You are an absolute animal.
Bearing in mind, when you come home drunk and you've got your doner on the table and you drop off in the chair and then you wake up in the morning.
Eat it the next morning.
Right, sorry, can we just clarify something?
Not me personally, but I know people.
No, I don't.
Right, can we just clarify something? Number one, you talking about food that a drunk person can eat the next day isn't helping your argument one bit. Number two, neither of you drink. And number three, doner kebab meat should be a food that you eat either. No, what?
No, I disagree totally. You can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. Like, I sometimes have pancakes with ice cream in the morning.
In the morning?
Yes. Dad, what you eat and when is just a social convention that you don't have to listen to.
Right, no, that is true.
That should be an article for the future, Charlotte. Why I told my dad not to listen to social convention.
Right, no, I get. Right, okay. So here's where I'm with that.
I've had 3 a.m. pasta. I don't. Like...
I'm a bit the same as you, though, Chris. I can't eat certain meats with certain stuff. So if a dish, let's say, meant to have spaghetti, like spaghetti and meatballs, I can't then eat that with other kind of pasta.
Chaps, breaking social conventions, I'm cool with, right? I'm probably the only one of us, and I might be wrong here, considering the absolute monsters you told me you are in the last 10 minutes. I'm the only one in Kuala Lumpur to have a curry breakfast.
Yeah, you are the only one to have a curry.
Amazing. Very good. Very, very popular in Malaysia. Apparently.
What flavour curry was it?
It was really spicy. It was a meat curry. It was like chicken curry. Oh. Yeah, really nice. So I'm up for breaking food conventions. What I'm not up for is eating kebab meat at 8 in the morning.
But that's a food convention that I run.
Because if I wanted to eat an elephant leg, I'm only going to do it drunk.
Yeah, The trouble with that is obviously people are eating that kebab meat at 8 in the morning in their pancakes, or they wouldn't be serving it.
That's what I did.
You wouldn't then get kebab meat on the menu if it wasn't a good seller.
Uh,
Yeah, it's the second
You'd
time
have
I've had
salmon
it.
and grilled
Right.
cheese, wouldn't you?
Okay, so it is my argument against that. Number one, right? They sell all sorts of stuff that may be a popular choice, but not a particularly sensible one. So let's take, for example,
Right, being sensible 8 in the morning or 11 o'clock on a Friday night when you've been out for a drink, it doesn't matter. It's personal preference.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of breakfast foods. So if I have to make myself pasta at 11:30 in the morning,
That's
I'll
fine.
get myself
Hold on,
through.
hold on.
I totally agree with that, Charlotte.
but I'm cool
Yeah.
with this. I'm cool with this.
Well, I like bagels, but we don't have a toaster in the flat, so
Wait. This is the problem.
Look, I told you.
This is the
no,
problem. I've got with
it's
that.
great.
Yeah, you talk about eat what you want when you want, and that's how people get to like 58 stone.
Okay, so who is telling you you have to eat certain things at certain times?
Social convention.
Yeah.
Exactly. Break out your little box, man. Break out your little box.
It's not like I'm eating
Right.
4
But
times a day. I eat once a day.
I actually
And if one of
think I
those times it's
benefit
not a
from
kebab
some of those.
pancakes, it's not a kebab
I
pancakes.
actually think I'm cool breaking out of the box, man. Don't worry about that. I can break out of my box anytime I want, fella. But kebab meat at 10 o'clock in the morning is still that's not breaking out of my box. That's breaking out of my box.
Forget
Breaking
about
out of the box of a
technical advice.
lunatic and taking his ideas.
Forget about technical advice. We've turned into a food podcast now.
No,
Right.
but like, it's not like I
Should we change this podcast to the kebab meat project or what?
it's not like I eat like crazy. I eat twice a day, so if I want to have kebab meat for
How
breakfast, that's fine.
how often do you have kebab meat on your pancake, Charlotte?
I mean, I've only been 3 times and I've only done it twice, so
Yeah, twice. It's hardly a regular thing.
Yeah, you're not breaking out of your box enough, Charlotte. Do something different. You need to get out of your box more. You know what you
I
should
was
do?
eating fruit salad at 2 a.m. this morning. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you know what you should do? Tomorrow's breakfast, eat a toilet roll. Really break out your box.
No, because I need to use that toilet roll. And
You know
toilet
what?
roll is-
Actually, for dinner,
Was that a tin of fruit salad or fresh fruit salad?
yeah, she just ate the tin as well.
No, I made it myself.
Break out of her box,
I made it
love.
myself and the sauce as well. Bananas and apples, and then I made peanut and honey and yogurt.
Oh, yes.
And there
That
was
is a
something
fine
else in there as well. There was different fruit.
It's
that I
not
made
according to Russell,
You
Charlotte.
didn't have a side dish of kebab meat, no?
No,
Yeah, in the fruit salad and the peanut
no,
butter.
no.
Oh, you're not, according to Russell, you're not breaking it. Can you do me a favour, Charlotte? For
For
your dinner
Russ, I'll
tonight?
give Pat
I'm
kebab
making
meat.
it up. I'm trying to drink me coffee.
Charlotte, can you
drained
do me a
mine.
favour tonight? For your dinner tonight,
I'm
get
having
salt and
chicken
pepper.
wraps. I've decided I'm having chicken wraps.
Too conventional. What you
know
want to do?
I might have tonight is chicken fajitas.
Oh, there's good, Russ.
Yeah, I know, but you're not breaking out of the box enough, you two. What you want to do,
Fine,
Russ?
I'll have it at 11 p.m. and that make you happy.
No, I want you, Russ.
Yeah, go on.
Charlotte, send Russ your hat, and he can have that with a bit of salt and chili pepper. And Russ, can you what are you going to send Charlotte to me?
A Kindle if she ever sends me her address.
You can have a little munch on the Kindle.
I'll send it now. No, I'll do it after.
Oh, that was a subtle nudge, Russ. I like that.
It was. I'm reminded her the other day on WhatsApp.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
All this doing stuff on time and when you're asked, it's too conventional, isn't it?
I know.
She's breaking out of her
I've had
box.
to break out of the box myself.
Right. We have gone off on an absolute tangent again, and this is going to be one of those podcasts which might be the longest in the world. So, should we move on to
Kindness news.
I'd like to share a particularly conventional act of kindness. This is American story. Young kids behind Rebels of Kindness in the community. A new spin-off of a Simcoe County charity is looking to capitalise on the generous hearts of young people. Rebels of Kindness brings women of all ages together 4 times a year to donate to various charities voted by on the group. On Thursday, the group launched Rebels of Kindness Kids, creating a new chapter of generosity for youth. We've got this amazing generation of youth in our community who want to pay it forward. So Holly and I get together and thought, what better way to do this than to get all of these amazing youth in our community together and get them to donate some money to a charity that means something to them. On Thursday, the group held its kick-off event with 40 kids following in their mother's footsteps. The youth chapter's first charity of choice was Barry's SPCA. It's great to hear that by doing chores, having lemonade stands, anything they can to raise money, and they all want to give it to animals, which is great. The group managed to raise over $1,000. Like the chapter for adults, Rebels of Kindness for Kids will hold 4 donation events every year, and the next check presentation is scheduled for June. I love it. And it's interesting. We were talking about this morning, weren't we, Russ?
We were.
So I don't know what you think of this, Charlotte. I was out with friends on Saturday, and one of the friends there was asking me about the book launch and how it went. And I was saying about we had a couple of teachers come to the book launch who have been sharing it with their schools, sharing the book with the schools. And she said to me, the problem you've got, Chris, is the concept of kindness isn't that cool. Now, by the look on your face, you disagree. What do you think?
I think that it's one of those things where it's not seen as cool for it to be done, but it is. If you think about it, it is. I've just had a message from Dad, but apparently it's Mum.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Sorry, I saw that you'd sent me a message, and I was like, why is he sending me a message in the middle of the podcast?
She's left her phone behind, hasn't she? Yeah, she's left her phone behind.
Now she's calling.
Right, you can't answer the phone in the middle of a podcast.
Hello, tech support.
Right, okay, bye-bye. That's gone.
I know that what you normally do isn't conventional, Charlotte, but just so you know, answering the phone whilst you're in the middle of recording the podcast, not a conventional approach.
I'm definitely leaving this in.
It was just sitting there buzzing and flashing in my face, and I was like,
Yeah, but leave it in. It's not conventional, but as Russ says, you've got to think out of the box, haven't you?
See, what I do in that scenario is answer it, say I'm recording, I'll call you back.
But you have the opportunity to mute yourself. I was in the middle of talking. I don't have that luxury.
Right, Colin, what do you think? Is kindness cool?
I think I can understand why it wouldn't be seen as cool, but I do think it is, because kids think it's cool to have a large number of friends. It's how are you making friends? How are you making those friends? Are you being nice to them? Are you being kind? It's
yeah. So she said that. I said, well, it's interesting because as adults we know that being good to each other is a good thing to do, and I think there is a perverse role model situation going on where there are role models out there, particularly for young boys, funny enough, that don't share values of kindness. And don't share the values of being authentic or being vulnerable or any of the things that I value as a human. It's all about masculine bravado. And to be honest, I thought as a society we'd outgrown that, but clearly not.
Well, I'm going to model my life on Charlotte's now, and I'm going to get a great big skewer of kebab meat for every morning.
I thought you were modelling your life on mine and just stealing every single part of my life.
But I stole a lot of your clothes ideas as well.
See what I mean?
as a family, we have one sort of we have a family mental box folder that we just swap things in and out of.
Yeah,
It's true. I mean, basically, we just share everything, don't we, as a family? So
Yeah, that's right.
that's the way it works. So that was part one of the thing. Love to see kids getting involved in kindness, communities encouraging that kindness, and encouraging their kids to do stuff in society. The next article, I'm trying to get up 2 seconds.
I've got up.
Is stranger walks off street to give £1,000 to local charity to help children in random act of kindness. A kind carer has walked into a local charity and given them £1,000 in a random act of kindness. News of the magnanimous gesture is revealed on Kindness of Strangers Facebook page. In the post, the magnanimous gesture is revealed in the post, which is linked to Northern Ireland charity kinshipcareni.com. The post says, you are around 5'3" with short dark brown hair. At 4:46 this afternoon, you came out of nowhere, walked into our office and donated £1,000. We asked you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and you told us you are one of a large sibling group and that you and your brothers are all fit and healthy. You told us that you support a different charity every year and that your sister told you about the amazing work at Kinship Care Northern Ireland. You told us that you are a carer in the community and that you care for somebody who is severely disabled. You spoke very highly of your work and how rewarding it is for you. And you said you wanted to donate £1,000 towards our work with local children. You then got a wee bit emotional, and then we got a wee bit emotional, and then you left. From us to you, our very kind carer, I'm getting a wee bit emotional. Thank you for coming in to see us. Thank you for sharing your own very personal story. And thank you for choosing to support children in kinship care. We very much appreciate it. Love that. You know what, as well, for somebody to care for others and also make donations to care for kids as well, I absolutely love.
Yeah, I'd love to be doing something like that. If I won the lottery or anything, I'd love to donate every year, just have a little pot of money, just donate to one charity. And
yeah. I mean, certainly, just if you've got that money, like sort of, the principle behind it is timeless, isn't it? Like sort of tithing some of your money to a really good cause and saying I've got a budget every year to give away isn't new.
Yeah.
Charlotte, did you have something to say?
I was looking for content for my later segment because I didn't want to be caught unawares again.
Is that joke of the week?
Yes.
So you're just two in the box.
Yeah, you're in the box. You're in the box. Just tell a random joke. Just make up some words.
And off the top of your head.
And just do it off the top of your head whilst eating a kebab. Don't you think? What I'd recommend you do is just literally get one of those revolving kebabs, and every now and again turn around and bite into them. Right.
I mean, you wouldn't want to put one of those near your face because one of the ends is pointed and sharp. And
you put yourself in the eye with a kebab.
Yeah, I would. You know me, I would.
Yeah. So let's move on to the interview. It's the last part of our interview with Sam Oakes. If you've not listened to parts 1 and 2, please go back to last week and enjoy the last part of the interview. It's a process. You've got to live it, right? That's the reality.
Every day. Listen, do you know what? I had this conversation last night with this girl, and I said I said this, right? We were talking about psychedelics.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. She said, would you ever do psychedelics? And I said I'd never rule it out. And I said, it's one thing I'd never rule out. And we got talking about it. But I said, the reason why I say I never rule it out is because I'd rather say that than say never, right? Because one day, if I was facing death, for example, and I hadn't lived a full life, I might want to fast forward a little bit and get outside of my head and explore the concept of death. Now, at the moment, Chris, every single day for me gets better and better and better. And the journey of life is the enjoyable part. Why would I want to teleport myself to enlightenment and not enjoy the journey I go through to get there?
I get that. And that's the big thing, isn't it? When you stop focusing on the I need to get there and this particular point in time, go, what is today meaning to me? That's a mindset.
As soon as you're mindful, and as soon as you stop, and as soon as you appreciate what you have, and then you become grateful for it, you will fill yourself up with the most amazing joy that you could ever. You know, I'm getting it now talking to you. I'm getting it now realizing and reaffirming why I'm happy.
This is why conversations like Sam are so important, aren't they? Because it's like it gives you an opportunity to go, but we're lucky. You know, we're in a good space. Now, I want to head a little bit back to the business, and I know that your business has decided to become a B Corp. Now, one of the things that I loved about the conversation we had when we interviewed for me on your podcast was I think we share a lot of value. So talk to me a little bit about B Corp. Something we as a business haven't done actually, and it's on our plan to do eventually. Talk to me about why you decided to become a B Corp and why do well, do good. That's my words, not yours. But do well, do good is so important in your business life.
Okay. Well, one, do well, do good. I've learned by giving back to others and supporting others that I feel good in the process of doing that. So if I put out good, do you know what? Good comes back to me.
100%.
Firm believer in the laws of attraction. It's just the way it works. There's a science behind it. It's 100% works. So in respect of then aligning my business in that way, we joined B Corp. There's only, I think I just read yesterday, 1,000 companies in the UK that are B Corp, and we're just at the final processes now. So we have to go through a big application process to do it. And it's not an easy thing to get B Corp. You have to evidence in every area of your business, sustainability, environmental impact and social impact, right? So for me, having individuals in my business that are aligned to my values was hugely important. Having a framework such as B Corp that held the business responsible and that people within the business responsible for giving back to those three core areas was hugely important for me. So when we put in things like charities, Talk Club that we support, community aspect on that, because I'm a trustee, I've set up the Financial Planner Life Talk Club to bring mental health within to the financial planning profession. We've got the running charity that helps homeless people. We've got 5 hours a month for each individual to go out within my business and support any charity that they choose.
Yeah. And that's important because it's empowering them to just do something they believe in, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Not telling them what to do. But also, we have to donate a percentage of our profits to helping others, right? So for example, my Financial Planner Life Academy is every new person I bring into the financial planning profession, 5% of that goes to Talk Club. That 5% gives 8 counselling sessions for a man in need. So I know that every time we're bringing people into a profession, we're doing good in other aspects of well. Now, one of the other areas that's really, really important, we just signed terms with Investec, right? And Investec on their great big terms and conditions say, what are you doing about sustainability? What are you doing about the environment? What are you doing about your positive impact? Because guess what? Companies now have to look at their suppliers. They have to see down the supply chain, are they ethical? Are they doing the things they should be doing? Because having B Corp is basically a big sticker that says we've gone through a process, rigorous process. Here's our score. Now, 100%, we are a company that you should have on your supply chain. What are your other suppliers doing?
Yeah.
So it becomes this kind of standard that you hold yourself to, and you hold and is accountable then to the other people within your profession as well.
And I think that conversation's growing, right? You know, that conversation around sustainable business is going to be one that's going to move forward quite rapidly over the next few years as we have more conversations like this.
Chris, I set up a company. I've just recently set up another company, which is taking on 2 people, and it's going well. It's called Down to Earth. Down to Earth, and it's working with sustainable companies that are making a positive impact. To sum this up really, really quickly, right? through recruitment, you can have a positive impact on the world. So all the companies that we work with under Down to Earth are doing something that adds value to the world. They're not taking from the world. So they're profiting companies, but what they profit off of is things like sustainability, etc. Now, we put that job advert for a recruiter onto the University of Bristol website. The girl who joined us has a master's in environmental psychology or something like that. She came on to join us because she understood that she could have a positive impact on the world by recruiting for companies that are having a positive impact on the world.
So this is the interest in your sort of recruitment business as well. How often are candidates now making a choice around the companies they work for based on positive impact?
Not as much as I would hope within the financial planning space, but more younger individuals are. So what you're finding now, there are companies out there. Have you ever seen a company called The Path?
No.
Right, look them up. Right, they're a positive impact, environmentally positive impact financial advice company. Now, they will have absolutely no trouble in attracting new individuals to come and join their business that meet their values because they're out there and they would be interested in joining them. The one thing I see in the financial planning space, for instance, is just even with ESG and the requirements and everything around that, nobody's really talking about it, because what about the positive impact you can have via talking to your clients about where their monies are invested in their pension?
100%. 100%, and it's huge. The challenge we had as a financial planning business is making sure that proposition was right. So we took 18 months during 2020 and 2021 to build our ESG proposition, talk to all the fund managers, building everything. And the way we did it, Sam, is as you know from our conversation, I like to collaborate on everything we do. We do it through like professionals we work with and all that stuff. So I was getting a bit lost with it, if I'm honest, because there's just so much information out there. So we got a client panel. So we got 5 of our clients who were particularly interested in this area to come and help me build our proposition at Savello. And that worked really well. The challenge we had is you've got 5 unique perspectives around what money for good means to them. And trying to systemize that was a tough thing to do, but I think we've got there actually. And we've
also being aware of the greenwashing that happens within financial products, as well as greenwashing that happens what you see within the supermarkets.
100%. So the way that we did it is we built an impact portfolio, specifically only invested in companies that were doing good. Our core portfolio is makes no sort of designation in terms of ethics, but avoids stuff like munitions and firearms and things like that. And then the one in the middle is has a ESG filter designed to make sure that more money is going towards companies doing good in the world. But that took me 18 months. So that took business 18 months to get to that point. And funny enough, I wrote that in the book. Is it perfect? Definitely not. And is it a market in evolution? Definitely. And we'll look at continuing to improve and evolve that as time goes on. Tell me a little bit about you, your business, where people can find you, and more importantly, the charities you support and where they can find out more information about those.
Well, starting with the charities that we support then. So we've got the running charity, and the running charity was set up because it was a homeless charity and individuals that are struggling and end up on the streets. I mean, not everybody ends up on the streets due to drugs or alcohol. A lot of people can end up on the streets due to just misfortune, not being able to even pay the rent these days. There's a hidden amount of people that are homeless. Now, the running for me and my business partner, who is a world record holder, fastest 50k on a treadmill, right? He's an ultra runner. Now, running is really important to us. Running has helped us individually to maintain positive mental attitudes. And running has the power to bring people together and get them out of a slump, right? So the running charity is all about helping people that are in need, helping people that are on the streets, but bringing running and the elements into it. We did things like did the 3 Peaks last year in 24 hours with our team to raise money for the running charity. Of course, Talk Club. We raise money for Talk Club. We get involved with them. Individuals within our business do donating their time to talking to old people, for instance, at old people's homes, helping out at children's homes, giving stuff out to homeless people in Bristol. So there's lots of things that we're doing on an individual basis around the charity side. In respect to my business, Financial Planner Life, Recruit UK, you can find us online. You can see what we're all about. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Just look up Sam Oakes, Financial Planner Life. You can listen to the podcast at Financial Planner Life if you're interested in that. I don't just talk about financial planning careers, as you know. Big firm believer in talking about and using your platform for good. So I talk about mental fitness and mental health, well-being, as well as an exciting career within the financial planning profession. But yeah, you can find us LinkedIn, Instagram. I think we're on Twitter. I think we're on TikTok. We're on Instagram.
All of them. All of the channels. All of the channels. We'll make sure that when we put the show notes up, Sam, we put links to all of them. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to share my favourite running story because I am definitely not an Olympic champion runner. I'm one of the slowest runners that I know.
I'm a plodder.
So what I want you to do is, while I'm telling you this story, I want you to think of your funniest running story, right?
Oh God, you don't want to know. I'm not think I'm allowed to tell.
I've got 2. Let me share you one of my running stories. So my first marathon was Paris 2017. Wanted to get out of the way before I was 40. So 39, sort of thought I'll sort of get this done. And I'll make sure that we sort it out. So, did Paris 2017? Didn't train as well as I should have done it, but went out there, week's holiday with the family. Stayed in Paris, but then did the halfway through the holiday did the Paris Marathon. Day was amazing. Starting off at the Arc de Triomphe, and then running around Paris, and then on the way back, and loved it. Loved the experience. Parisians have a different experience of marathons than Londoners. So there was a lot of polite clapping from cafes as people were drinking wine, as opposed to the cheering you get in London. But loved it all the same. Got 17 miles, had my headphones on. Cassie is at mile 21 by the Eiffel Tower. And she says to me, Sam, where are you again? I was like, I'm on my way, but I'm just taking my time as I do it. She went, no rush, but we've just seen a man with a giant Eiffel Tower on his head run past, and we wondered where you were. Yeah. So that's how slow I am. And then we got to a point where at mile 20 they opened up the roads and they were letting people pass and stuff like that. London's a bit better organised because they do this really good sort of diverting people route, but in Paris they don't do that. They just let people run across. And there was a guy who had basically got his breakfast in a bag and a baguette in the other hand that was crossing the road as I was running past, and was swinging his baguette to get rid of the runners because he wasn't happy about the marathon coming to Paris. I came back, had my first client meeting the following week, and Mark, my client, said, "How was the marathon?" I went, "Loved it. Cried at the end, really enjoyed the day. So glad we did it. But I did get attacked by a man with a baguette." And he went, "Did you make that any more French? Did he?" None of that, just the baguette. But that was it. And then the second marathon I did, so I've done 3 now. The second marathon I did was 2020. So I signed up for London for the hospice locally, and then it all got called off. So meant to be in April, got called up to the October, and then it was a virtual run. So effectively what Cassie did was drop me off over at Chelsea Bridge. I live east side of London, Chelsea's on the west, if you don't know. Chelsea Bridge, and I ran through London home. And I thought I'd planned it perfectly so that I'd hit the target just as I got to my house. running up to my house, and I phoned Cass and said, "Look, can the girls wait outside?" And I didn't know this, but they've got a big banner and balloons and stuff like that as a run up. Got to the end of my little cul-de-sac, and checked the app, and I had a mile to go. So literally, I had to just go, see you later, and run away for half a mile and then come back. The most embarrassing running experience I think I've ever had, Sam. What's yours?
I've got a pretty embarrassing one, but I don't know if I can say it because it's a bit grim.
What's the second most embarrassing one?
You'll know what I mean by grim if you're a runner. Right. Mine would be, I was typical, right? I'm not somebody who gets involved in races. I've never been one for races, probably to do that whole comparing myself to others. I'm not a competitive runner because I know I'm slow. So I'm the type of person who just goes out for a run, right? And I'll make it up as I go. You know, and I'm typical. I can go out and run, and then all of a sudden I've done a bloody marathon.
Yeah.
And that's it. I would go out. One of those days I'd gone out, off I went. And before I knew it, 5 hours later, I don't know, I can't remember, it was like 27 miles or something like that.
There is a meditation with running, isn't
Oh,
there?
hugely. I switch off.
The flow. Yeah. All right. So my ones are definitely more embarrassing, Sam. Accidentally doing a marathon is a bit of a humble brag, to be honest.
Yeah. It's getting my wife to bloody pick me up, though. That's the thing. And she's like, "Are you done it again?" And I'm, "Yeah, sorry."
You run away.
They come find me.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat. And have a lovely day.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So that's the last part of the interview with Sam Oakes. Tis the end. There's only one more thing today. It is
Joke of the week.
Bum.
Thank you, Russell. Not coordinated, but I really appreciated that.
right. So are we?
I have to clean my glasses so I can read my joke of the week. Right. Why are frogs always so happy?
Ribbit.
Why are frogs always so happy? I don't know.
Because they eat whatever bugs them.
Crow.
God.
I'm so sorry if I've disappointed you, Father.
It was going so well as well.
I was hoping for a kebab meat joke, but we'll have to. On that note, my friends, have a lovely week, and I'll see you on the Kindness Project soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.